All right, in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start breaking down some real-life situations with modes, using jam tracks that are going to sound awfully familiar to you because they're songs that you've heard a million times. I'm just not going to be using the melodies and things like that. I'm going to be improvising my own thing over the top, which is what I want you to do as well. But the point really is that when it comes to modes, the number one confusion that people get is what position am I supposed to play in, and what note do I start on, and all those sorts of things. And what I want to really make sure that you understand is that modes really are a lot easier than most people think that they are. Modes are defined by the rhythm that's being played, not by the notes that we're playing, because the notes that we're playing could be a number of different things. We can choose to emphasize certain pitches, but of course the notes that we're emphasizing are going to constantly change relative to the chord that's being played. So what I want you to think about when it comes to modes is that the mode really has to be defined by the chord progression that's happening underneath you. And then you're going to respond to that chord progression by emphasizing various things. And then depending on the kind of music it is, you may have more or less time to emphasize pitches. Like if I've got a lot of chords that are happening all over the place, if I'm responding to those chords by emphasizing different pitches, I'm kind of locked in. Where if I have like a chord progression that's very open, and if I played like, and that was my main riff, I've got a lot of space to do all kinds of different things. And so what I want to do is I want to show you how modes are used in popular music, in modern music, a lot of the music that you've listened to for years. And so I just want you to think about that. Now, when jamming, it's really important that when you're working on modes, that you're jamming over something, whether it's a jam track, whether it's another musician, whether it's a pre-recorded line that you have the access to record maybe on your PC, on your Mac. I know PC comes with a thing called Sound Recorder, and it's not the most elaborate piece of software, but you can record a guitar part and then you can play along with it. Just record the same chord progression for 5 minutes and then play along with it. There are pedals that you can buy. I know Digitech sells one called the Jam Man, and Boss sells one called the Loop Station. A lot of times you might have a keyboard at your house and you can record a chord progression with that. There's a number of different things that you can do, but the important thing is that you have some element of a chord progression that you can actually jam over. The other advice I'm going to give you is I'm going to be giving you a list of a ton of popular songs that are broken down into the modes that they're actually in. And what I would highly suggest that you do is you go through that list and you start learning some of those songs to get a feel for what Ionian sounds like and feels like, or how a certain guitar player might approach playing Ionian. Dorian, same thing. All of the modes, finding some songs that you can play and learn the song, learn the solo or a segment of the solo or whatever, and implement that into your playing as well. So it's not always just improvisation. It's looking at how other people solo using these modes and drawing and borrowing from their elements as well. So let's go ahead and get started with that.